"Impossible," said Dante, staggered at the enormous amount. "Impossible? And why?" asked the old man. "The Spada family was one of the oldest and most powerful families of the 15th century, and in those times, when other opportunities for investment were wanting, such accumulations of gold and jewels were by no means rare. There are at this day Roman families perishing of hunger, though possessed of nearly 1 million in diamonds and jewels, handed down by entail, in which they cannot touch." Edmond thought he was in a dream. He wavered between incredulity and joy. "I have only kept this secret so long from you," continued Faria, "that I might test your character and then surprise you. Had we escaped before my attack of catalepsy, I should have conducted you to Monte Cristo. Now," he added with a sigh, "it is you who will conduct me thither. Well, Dante, you do not thank me." "This treasure belongs to you, my dear friend," replied Dante, "and to you only. I have no right to it. I am no relation of yours." "You are my son, Dante," exclaimed the old man. "You are the child of my captivity. My profession condemns me to celibacy. God has sent you to me to console, and at one and the same time, the man who could not be a father and the prisoner who could not get free." And Faria extended the arm of which alone the use remained to him to the young man, who threw himself upon his neck and wept. Aww, and we're ending chapter 18 on such a heartfelt moment between Faria and Dante, father and son, by bond of captivity and promise of treasure. Again, I can see Dumas' theatrical background as a playwright at play here. We talked a lot about that early on in this show, but here I can see the act break of the spotlight over top of Faria and Dante in this moment. I could see, Dante kind of on his knees next to Faria, putting his head in his lap as Faria puts his arm around him, and the spotlight closes in on them and then just fade out or black out to, the next act. It's very, very evocative and almost cinematic, but, again, not cinematic, just playomatic, theatromatic. Is that a word? Theatromatic? It is now. Hey, look at what we're doing here on the Countdown of Monte Cristo. We're making up words. Do. Hey, we're at the end of chapter 18, and we are ending on a bit of hope, but also melancholy. In those last moments, you kind of can feel all that they have gained and all they have lost the entire way that they have come thus far. And I have to imagine we've got some action ahead of us. We're going to go into the escape, right? The escape is going to be, it's got to be kind of a suspenseful thing, right? They're going to be digging, and they're going to be climbing and climbing down, falling, swimming, trying not to be seen. They're going to be Metal Gear Soliding all over the place, trying to not be caught in their escape attempt. Will they be caught in their escape attempt? Will that moment I had mentioned about Dante having to make that pivotal choice of staying with Faria in the final moment or not, will that come up? Interesting. Well, and you know what? Dumas always surprises me. Maybe we're going to extend the story even longer and cut away from Dante and Faria and go to a completely different character. Maybe we go back to Villefort. What the hell has he been up to? Maybe we'll go to Danglars and Cadrus. Maybe we'll go to Fernand and Mercedes. I don't know. Why not? Why not extend the story even further, Dumas? Get that money. Okay, well, we are on track to finding treasure. And speaking of treasure, I treasure you. All of you. Every single one of you for listening. I said I had a little personal anecdote yesterday, and I will mention it here. I think earlier in this chapter, I had said that I need a little bit of a break, and I'm going to try to batch record these episodes so that I could take some time off without actually losing the momentum and still providing you daily content. I have been batch recording. I recognized something, a little self-reflection here, if you'll enter into therapy corner with me for a moment. The pressure of getting the episodes out on a daily basis. It hasn't been weighing on me. I mean, it has a little bit, but not crushing. It's just it's a constant thing. And I realized that was the very reason I did the show in the first place, was this gives me something to occupy myself so that I don't have to feel so utterly crushed by the world. I have a release valve. I mean, it doesn't, make me not live in the world that we live in, but it gives me something else to think about. I don't know that I'm giving that to you. I that's just more for me, but I realize you don't have that. You just have to sit and wait for the new episodes every day. But for me, that part I felt of needing just a bit of breathing space wasn't just about the show. It was like, oh yeah, it's what the show represents, which is a distraction. I need something to channel my nervous energy, my thought process into something productive, something positive, something that connects people, can communicate messages of kindness and compassion, and just where we are with things in this kind of unspoken underbelly of the premise of the show. We're counting down the next 4 years. I got to a place where I'm like, I need some breathing space. So where am I going with this? Where I'm going with this is, when I made that realization, when I felt like I needed a little bit of breathing room from the show, it reinforced the importance of the show to me, which might be counterintuitive. But what it made me realize was the alternative of sitting and dwelling with my thoughts and fears and anxieties was not going to be helpful, and that, hey, I have this thing that I have built with all of you, and that's awesome, and it's not going anywhere. There's work to be done here, and there's work to be done out there. So together we can all keep showing up every day and enjoying this weird, absurd project that will last for another 3.5 years. With the help of you, if you'll be here, I'll be here. Okay. With that, I think I just got to mention the same thing I mentioned at the end of every chapter, which is, if you want just the story-only audio of this, without my commentary, without my ushy-gushy therapy corner, you can get that. Every time we finish a chapter, I put the whole chapter audio file up on our Patreon. You can get access to that over at patreon.com/gruntworkpod, GRUNTWORKPOD, gruntworkpod, which is the podcast network, Gruntwork Podcasts, for the Countdown of Monte Cristo and the other shows on the network. Your contributions help to keep the show ad-free. I don't have any other income sources. The entire operation is paid for by people who enjoy the show. And that's people like you, hopefully. It keeps us on the air. Your contributions go toward the hosting of this thing, toward the promotion of this thing. Everything that makes the podcast work and operate all comes from those Patreon funds. And you can do that for as little as $1 a month. Yesterday, I broke down the price. That's 3 cents per episode. If you think the show is worth 3 cents per episode, just consider. I'm not asking you to do it. I know it's super weird fucking times we're living in. If you could do it for 1 month, that's great. There's no long-term commitment to it. You can cancel anytime. Again, that's patreon.com/gruntworkpod. If you can't do that, you can always leave a rating or review over at Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen. I'm not sure all of the different networks that allow you to leave reviews. I know you can on Apple Podcasts, you can on YouTube, and they don't have to be long. Just one word. One word would go a long way to helping us get into the algorithm, seen in front of new people, and grow the show even more. And if you're so inclined, you can always recommend the show to somebody else one-to-one. Tell someone about it. Email them an episode. Email them or text them an episode. Pull open their phone. Search for the Countdown of Monte Cristo in their podcast app of choice. And add it to their favorites. Have them subscribe. One thing I used to do way back in the day, and I don't feel like super super proud of this, but I had a movie blog 100 years ago, and I would sometimes go into the Apple store and just on every single one of their laptops open up my website and just leave it there for the next people to stumble. I'm not saying go and do that, but, I think they have protections in place at this point to avoid stuff like that. For good reason, for very good reason. But, is there room somewhere to do something like that? I don't know. And I'm not telling you to do it. I'm just saying, wouldn't it be interesting if there were? Oh my God. Okay, listen. What I love most about all of you is you allow me to go insane by the end of some of these episodes. Because I have no game plan when I press record. I just go until I stop. And I'm going to stop now. I really appreciate you being here. It's been a hell of a journey so far. Let's keep it going. I will be right here tomorrow starting up chapter 19. I hope you will too. So you know where to find me. You know where to find the show. And until then, take care of yourselves. Okay, goodbye. The Countdown of Monte Cristo is part of the Gruntwork Podcast Network. This show is produced, edited, and hosted by Landon Solano. The original text of The Count of Monte Cristo by Alexandre Dumas. Theme song by Magic Solo. If you want to support the show and others like it, visit patreon.com/gruntworkpod. Thank you for listening. See you tomorrow.